Hello everyone, my name is Jakub Kacenak. I'm coming from Slovakia, where I started with the sport of freestyle wrestling in a very early age, and I represent my country for 16 years. 10 years ago, when I decided to finish my professional career, I moved to Australia, where I also continue working with the Australian National Wrestling Federation as an assistant of the head coaches, and later on for past 4 years as a national head coach. At the same time, 10 years ago when I came here, I started developing the passion for Jiu-Jitsu, where I started working and developing how to use wrestling for the Jiu-Jitsu. I had the privilege to work with many Jiu-Jitsu and MMA athletes such as Izaak Michell, Ethan Thomas, Charles Negromonte, also Robert Whittaker, Jacob Malcolm, Josh Kulibau. Early in this year, I have been approached by the same from NEMA Grappling Club to do 2-day seminar in Brisbane, in a gym Arte Suave, and a Gold Coast in a combat training center. We've been focusing on this seminar for how to use a hand fighting, back takes, and also defenses from this similar situation. And I would like to say thank you very much to everyone who came and participated on this seminar.
You want to be somewhere, head a little bit slightly forward, hands always down, ideally elbows close to the butt. As close as can better, even collar ties. If I say collar tying as such, it seems like it's very good and strong, however, this is the main strength. The way the body is postured and how the shoulders are, you can use it for yourself, for your advantage, and also it can be used against you if you're not posturing correct. It's very hard to implement weight strength from such a position if your elbows are sliding up and down. And again, open, open, open. So we always want to be somewhere, ideally attaching your wrist, head on a head. This is a very common thing in the Jiu-Jitsu. People are a little bit not used to it. I'm not saying you're not guys tough, you are tough, but from selling point of view, you also have to consider one thing. Even if you train, the head has to be into the head. Regardless it comes to the face or chin, but it's ideally supposed to be somewhere. Head on a head. From here, even we won't cover the leg attacks, but I'll still show it anyway, because it's very important. If you're facing someone who's likely shoot on the legs and you know it, and you don't want to be in a contact with him, stand always with the hands down. Can you go on the legs? So my arms meet his body first, instead of having it on the legs and defending later. Especially if they're really good, it would be even harder to implement. Other reason, if we are head on the head, I can absorb the shot straight away just by bending a push. So that was another reason why I want to demonstrate, so it's even easier to then kind of see why we're going into what we're doing. Very first technique we will start off, it will be a slide by. You've probably all seen the slide by, right? This technique when you slide the hand and you take it back. It's very useful and it's super easy to learn and very good to pick up on anyone, and you have a pretty much back for it. So to do this slide by, I need to have a collar tie. At the same time, I need to have my opponent's collar tie. Now, ideally, we want to have a head on the head. What happens if I have a head next to my opponent's head? As I mentioned before, how the body works, the angle of the elbow, it will be harder to push through into the slide by. My opponent is much stronger. Even if you won't catch the reaction right away, it will be still very hard to punch it through. So if you ever catch yourself being in this situation, heavy collar back, always hand on the shoulder, and I'll even step back. I'm not pushing into the opponent. I just use this to push myself, get in a position where his head on the head and elbow is more open and a little bit slightly bigger. With this slide by, we have two variations. We covered the first one, which is slightly easier, especially because of the mobility and footwork. When we use the forearm, it's not the palm, remember best. Every time you bring the palm on the elbow, you're telegraphing your opponent something is up to, and he most likely pull the elbow away. And we'll be, again, in a 0. So once we hit, hand on the shoulder. I don't telegraph, he doesn't know what's going on yet. So, very important, before we do the move with the arm, is a footwork. So the footwork looks a little bit like I'm hopping like in a judo throw when you're doing it in Shimasta. I will replace my right leg with the left leg by hopping. Ideally, a little bit close somewhere here. So, this such. Soon I'll explain why. So, first thing, we will work on a footwork. Once the head is adjusted and we have the angle we need for the slide bar. So, I'll do footwork. As you see, I'm slightly like in a 90 degrees with my opponent. Yeah. From here on, I'll change the position of my arm. Elbow up, wrist down. Imagine you want to look on a watch, not what time it is. And now, very important, the collar tie. So I need to look behind my shoulder. It's really good three. As soon as I look behind my shoulder, I get better pull, and at the same time, I'm punching cross, not up, because the strength of the shoulder. Always cross, and that's how you will beat even stronger physical opponent. And we provide the slide. I'm holding on to the neck until I have a back. So I'll do it now faster from the other side. So hit, and I get a back. The reason now, as you can see, you lean a little bit forward because when I pull the head, that's what I need. When I step and I look behind the shoulder, it's like I'm kind of when I go there. My leg is still in a space, and when I put it down, I'm following with my opponent, and I have a back. So far, is it clear, guys? Perfect. So again, collar tie, collar tie. Head next to the head. If I find my head over here, I'll push it through. And now, replacing the legs, adjusting the elbow, looking behind your shoulder, punching cross. And now this is the case why you have to have a head. If I ended up halfway for some reason, then I use this grip to pull slightly to get a little bit of extra inch take the back and finish. And now, one more thing. When I said freestyle wrestling, in a freestyle wrestling, sometimes you see the wrestlers not hopping. And the reason is in a wrestling, you get something, but very rarely you see in jiu-jitsu. And it's only because of the rules. Wrestlers have lower stance, and both individuals are creating pressure against each other. So it's easy, even without foot. However, in jiu-jitsu, we don't really have that. Not very often in fight someone will be coming at you as such. If it does, the footwork is fine. You can do it without that because you have the pressure. Because we don't necessarily always have a pressure from standing point of the view in jiu-jitsu. We ended up here in these collar type battles. In that case, I must jump to get the pressure. Like jump into the mold and force it. So, anyone has any question? Perfect. I'll demonstrate one more time by the steps. So basically, head on a head. If I don't have it, I'll push it. I will move a little bit backwards. I place head on right. Now, footwork. Hold. Replace the leg. Change the elbow. And I'll be looking behind the shoulder and punching at the same time until I get it back. And keep on going. Every single time you're taking a back, guys, very important. You have to follow your opponent. Literally, like when you see the tigers jumping on the animals and they catching your prey, because they still in the moment. Even if you do the perfect slide by, sometimes the person is just going, and when you stay standing, you miss the opportunity to take the back. Shall we? Perfect. 3, 2, 1. The second option I'm going to show is slightly better off to use it, not just for the slide by, but also when you have sometimes. Look at this guy, yeah? You see how Jack he is strong. When you face sometimes people like this, and happen the situation for what like, they just hold strong, and I feel like I can't be scared. So then what I'll do, on this angle, strong collar tie, I'll actually take this side. Strong collar tie, I stick the arm inside, into the elbow. So whenever I have a little gap, I move all the way to the armpit. I move all the way to the armpit. From here, I just don't use the arm right now, but you want to have a collar tie still. I move all the way, and now once I'm here, I start pushing this arm, extending. You can have a closed wrist, open wrist, up to you. But it's not enough push. You won't push the opponent away. You're pushing and extending yourself. And then, at the same time, as you can see, I'm sort of kind of pinching my shoulder with a hand. Like a little bit securing the arm in a spot. Now, if I stay here for very long, most likely he will back up. So once I do this, now it's coming slide by again. Same thing. But now the footwork is even more important. So I have to hop over here. So I create a comfortable angle for the elbow. And now when I said that this is very much a matter of the flexibility of your shoulders. If you don't have flexible shoulders, you must be 100% here. So from here, I just lift, pull, and I take the back. Literally the same way as we did the first view. So once again, strong collar tie or I'm standing here. This is up to you. You can reach. Sometimes this grip is really good when someone not allowing you to come up inside for the collar tie, inside collar tie. So it's hard. He's working very well. He's strong. So I can literally place the arm, extend, with a pinch to the shoulder, and now the footwork comes up. Lift further with the elbow, pulling the head, take the back. Is it clear so far? One more time, guys. I'll do it slowly and then I'll do it fast. So again, getting in, pushing, footwork. Once I get hit, don't forget, you must a little bit lean, sort of looking behind. Get into the elbow, pull, and the head on back. And now, a little detail. Most of you did very well, but still I see very much circling around after providing the move. So once I provide the move on here, I don't want to circle. Let me keep circling. When I say circle, it's swearing up, and that's what most likely going to happen. Once I get here, and I'm not fully behind here, I'm still a little bit here, I go into the opponent. It's making opponent's movements much harder to square up and run away. So keep squaring up. Eventually, I'll get it back. If we are on the edge, it's still fine because the referee is looking at a match. Look, the guy is providing action. He's pushing the other person off the bounce. He's more active. Yeah. And when it comes to 0-0, no submission, and you've been the one who's been active and pushing person around, you look more the active ones, look like you will win. And now from the faster, so we see so how the move. Right away. So, shall we? 3, 2, 1. So we ended up in this situation. Drop this knee down, this one up. So also remember, dogfight, this sort of situation, always outside leg up, inside leg down. That's how I feel more pressure. From here on, when you end up on the ground, I can go on the chest grip. And from here, even you don't need to, everything depending on your flexibility. You can from here, keep it as it is, or connect, or just go here, or just completely open, block the elbow. And now I want to turn left, you slide, the left, and take the back. This is a very common thing can happen. I'm not saying it's not a mistake. It just can happen when the opponent will try to also counter, which we will get soon to the counter on a slide by. Now, the other thing, very often you can do the slide by from, this is happening mostly in the heavier weights. To go hands on the neck, double collar ties. And now we get into the pummel. So my opponent from inside on pummel. And now you see these positions very often happening in a heavier weight. The same thing. So we get in a 50-50 while we pummel. So I can straight away do the slide back as well. So you can see now so many positions you can provide these techniques. Approaching, one pummel, one pummeling, we pummel, and I can go for the slide by right away. So there is many openers in the matches. Now we will go into, actually, you know what? Try a little bit the pummel, all of you, a few times. We won't go for too long. I just want you to a little bit also to try it, and then we move into the arm drags. Also, I should have mentioned it before, 2 things. First one, I know it might be very uncomfortable, but try to do the techniques on both sides. Always on the right, on the left. Don't try to do only on the one side. And the reason is, you don't want to think in a match which side you will take. Because sometimes it's very hard to kind of move or make the other person to decide which arm will go there, which leg will go there. Or you can happen to you that you meet someone who is left-handed. So with the left-handed people, the right-handed usually have a right leg leading. Left-handed mirrors. So now you don't have right arm available. It's only left arm available. Left leg available.
And you don't want to think which arm you will take. You just want to take it and do it. If you be practicing everything on both sides, you find funny thing. You'll learn how to finish both sides and definitely both sides, but most likely through the different techniques. But that's fine. But still develop. Or another reason is you meet someone who actually practice everything on both sides. So what you're going to do when someone grab your left arm, left leg, left side, when you're not as comfortable, you're not as good. So that's why I practice on both sides. And the second thing, all these techniques today, I should have said it on the beginning, I'll say. I just was quite excited, so I'm a little bit jet lagged. I just landed from Thailand from the one championship with Izaak. All these techniques we're gonna do with the defensive movements, they're blending on each other. Because I got some questions, what if I can't do the slide by? That's fine, we will cover the another techniques. So you play with the 2-3 techniques from the stand-up of the back takes. If you learn 3-4 techniques, mix them together, you're pretty much fine. From there on, you can develop your new techniques by just looking, practicing, observing other people. You start seeing them more. The same thing when it comes to the leg locks. You learn one heel hook, from heel hook you go for the foot lock, straight ankle lock, Once you understand 1, 2, and you start understanding 4, 5, 6. And now, if you can go in again to your partner, we go only 2-3 minutes, I want you just nicely pummel. Do not rush. Yeah, you don't need to add the strength right now. Just bear on your mind every time we keep on pummeling, please. So he needs to keep on pummeling. Don't take the hand off. Let the palm keep pummel. This one, keep. So aim is to have both underhooks. So let the opponent get both. I'm pummeling in again. Now he has to pummel. And that's the pummel is happening. So while we hit, you have to catch the moment. That's why take your time, guys, with this pump. Unless you feel comfortable, do faster. That's completely fine. Shall we? 3, 2, 1. Most likely you see this double pummel in a heavier weight. Heavier weight categories usually send straight forward and then do lots of arm wrestling and snapping downs and collar ties. Now we will get into the arm drops. Do you all know arm drop move? I mean, we know what we're talking about, yeah? At least this is the most important. Perfect. Same thing, wrestling jiu-jitsu. In a wrestling, because there is the drive, you see people doing an arm drag, not even going into the opponent, yeah? In a freestyle wrestling, what's that? Someone's pushing to me. He's pushing to me. Arm drag happening, he's coming to me. In jiu-jitsu, we don't really have this luxury, so I have to initiate the arm drag. And now we have a few variations of the grip. I'll demonstrate all 3, and I'll leave it up to you. So we can have this grip. It's usually happening when we arm wrestle somewhere here, we pummel, keep on pummeling. We hit. It looks a little bit messy, but it's fine. I have always option. I just pull and I'm there. Yeah. Then you have a thumb up. So thumb down, thumb up, or wrist control. And now we're coming to a very important part why we're doing standing first. Because you need to learn it's okay if someone holding my wrist. You don't need to do this and running away. It's actually better. Perfect. Keep the elbow close to your body. And can't keep. You break the wrist grip when you go for the arm drag. And now, very important in jiu-jitsu because most likely it will be from standing point of the view quite straight. There's not much pressure. So if I try to rely on this, he won't go necessarily in front of me and I open the back to take it. So arm, which is grabbing the elbow, we need to aim for as high as possible because of the sweat and the rush guard. Even in the freestyle wrestling, but as I said, we don't have clothes, we also sweat, but because the drive of my opponent is allowing me to do those techniques much smoother, like when you see it in the videos. So from here, when I'm doing the arm drag, I want to slightly pull the wrist towards myself. Once I open the space, I reach as deeper. So it's pretty much like thumb up, like it's all okay. And I use this, my arm open. So even if it slip, I still get a connection, but I need to play safe. If I'm going to execute this move, I need to execute it properly. He slip. He pulls the elbow, he's gone. He tried to pull the elbow. I can still secure. I have a wrist, I have this under. And now what we'll be looking at is using this leg. So while I do this, we want to step here. And the reason is I have almost half full. reach for the waist if I won't take it back, which was like going to be hard. On here, I can play. Nice, good position. You don't drop down, especially when they stand. Same apply, thumb down, yeah? I'll demonstrate from here. With playing, this is even better. I prefer over here, but that's me personal. So again, same thing, reach, hit, pulling, stepping into the opponent. So now it will be harder for him to square up because I have this hook. And at the same time, I can have a back already. Stand. This is, I leave it up to you. Everyone likes or prefer different things. Some people prefer keep blocking, driving down, or extending the leg. To play. Wrist occupied. Now we come to the thing. With the wrist being occupied, you have to, as you see, go on the side. So once we pull, we go. I must do this. You see how it broke his grip. Every time I go against, it's out. So even if they hold the wrist, don't ever freak out. It's fun. It's another opportunity. So again, and I'm behind. Arm straight away, reaching for the hip. Regardless what your arms are of the length. In my case, easy because I'm long. So I can stick it nice and deep. I don't even connect. If you have a short arm, use the hip ball. This is your handle. I know it can become uncomfortable for the training partner, but that's fine. At the competition, you have to do it. The way you learn technique in a practice room, most likely you provide at a competition. So if I don't have long arm, I reach for the hip ball. This is my handle, something that helps me to secure it. And can help. Jump. I'll leave it up to you. Now, obviously, can straight away jump, have a half hook, and work from here. Slide down, extend the leg, play, get behind, slam. Many options to finish. But it's very important to get behind the back. Any question into the arm drag thing? Is it clear? Oh, pardon? Yeah, of course. I'll do from the other side as well. So we somewhere here, head to the head, head off the head. Pull, reach. Pull, reach. Once I start pulling the shoulder, I'll step. Move the leg. Off, extend. So keep hopping behind. It also matter of how my opponent is drafting, the way he's moving. Maybe the leg just there, it doesn't matter. Pump, on the side, take, pull it back. Palm down, center. I get a side. Much safer and more efficient than playing just playing like it as such. This is fine, but this is allowing my opponent to square up much faster. If he reacts, he's out and we again 50-50 face to face. I had opportunity, but I lose it. Shall we? Perfect. 1, 2, 3. Adjustment of the arm, working behind the shoulder and throwing the cross or punching across the arm. In an arm drag, I'll come here and I'm not stepping until I pull and I clear up. Because there is no push, I most likely won't be able to pull him in front of me. So what I'm doing, I'm clearing up the space here, right here, and securing him from turning away from me and squaring up. So it's pretty much cleared up the space to I'm back and I'm here. If I would be just here, again, keep squaring up, release, wait a second, set. And then obviously, again, I'm exposing legs, anything can happen in the direction of the opponent. Are we clear? Perfect. There is one really good thing from freestyle wrestling, you can use it in a jiu-jitsu. And usually it's happened, we did a move, we hit, we drop down, we go down, and now we hit. So I have a back, but I have only one hook. In these cases, what you can do, you can use this one hook. But it's the same thing when you have a bow or when you have a seatbelt and you start using your pressure to the hips. So you're using the hips regardless. Now, face the guys, down. So we ended up here. Let's say I have a seatbelt, I hook the leg. From seatbelt, I can go to the shoulder like a Nelson, or I keep it. But what I'll be focusing is extending the shoulder because he will be covering with his knee to not get and stick a second hook. If you're not very flexible, it can be very hard. So keep the one hook and now pressure with the hips and pulling the chest. And now he's open. When he open, I can switch. He's not moving, then switch. But you want to use the hip pressure. Hip pressure open. You should go against the spine. And then knees to go drop down. And then you can stick the second hook. So it's very important, even if you have one hook, still enough, creating the pressure to stick the second. When it comes to any competition, having both hooks, oh, sweet, easy. You have a time. One little detail from the back takes. When you have a back and you're trying to finish anyone, and you feel like this is not working, I'm dropping, recover, put the leg down, take the back again. If you think, who should be more stressed in a match, me or him? Him. So I have a time. Remember, guys, once you get a position, no matter what, make sure you have a position. Yeah. So if I'm dropping down off the back, I'd rather recover. If none of these things works, still I get back. Even if I don't have an arm, I still want to have a back, and then I can seek for another option. Again, I'm dropping down back to the position. I want to have a back no matter what, once I have it. Now, guys, I'll let you get a quick drink because I've seen some of you already quickly ran. Have a very quick drink. We come back and we will cover how to react on these two moves we cover. Slide by and arm drag. The good option of the defense. So have a quick drink, please. I leave it up to you. Arm drag or slide by, it's coming from the both variations, same move. So let's say I'll do slowly. Can you do slide by on me? My opponent's doing a slide by. I need to hit into him. You see how I backstep? If I'll catch momentum, it's coming, and I'll do it fast into him. Most likely, I just disengage. He will mostly, pardon me. He seems like he has it, but sometimes what happens, force coming and you meet with another force coming again, we just kind of bounce from each other. And that's what we're looking for. So that's why do it slow, even the slide by. Do not rush, because I want you to catch the step back. When I won't do it, when I miss it, it's too late. Once I'm here or here, it's pretty much too late, he will finish. So that's why the moment coming, when my arm being slide, you're looking for this. This is how you do it very slow. Yeah. But what do you want to look when you go past that? You come up on this. When you keep running, I'll say we're just close to the edge. Okay. It's not ready. By pushing and going into him, you most likely can escape from that. Or you can even get a good position from hitting up and you're out. You can keep on a single or you're completely out. As harder you body check your opponent in the right moment, then better. Same thing with the under. Can you do? Under coming, same thing. Just hit. Okay? And you're out. Sometimes, as you see, you turn vice versa. But it's the reaction of hit. Should I demonstrate again or be fine to go, guys? I think it's simple. Yeah, one more time. Slide by, please. Hit. And go into the end. Let's see it faster. Oh. You just have to go into the punch when he's going for it. This is the first part of the move. And then, if the scramble comes, we cover after this. But first, the reaction. We need to be able to react with this. Shall we? Perfect. You can get at many different situations, but now when we're sticking with what we're doing, let's say arm drag. Most likely it would be when we did this and you miss, you ended up here. And now once we hit, we can finish with multiple ways. So for example, right now these legs are quite close, so I can overreach. When I'm overreaching, I'm sitting in the back. So when I go back here, I'm fine because I can turn it with. Even I expose my neck for a little bit, my arm is not wrapped. Other things you have to watch out when you're going for it. If I'm leaning too forward, it would be hard to see with the opponent. If the leg is a little bit further, I can go for the waist, but now it's still not the ideal. Yeah? So, once again, with the move, I ended up here. The leg is still close. I can travel around. to my reach. I'm in a good position. My knees are bent. It's like I'm sitting. I'm not leaning forward, so I can push. It's like sitting in bed. Bottom leg, pushing forward, arm and back, leaning back. And from here, you see right away turn, and you have a pass. If you get stuck, the leg is also a little bit further, and you're even leaning a little bit as here. Then I'll go with this arm inside knee from inside. Once I get here, I'm not gonna be sitting because I get trapped into the crucifix or anything else. My arm will be stuck, so I have to pull the knee and drive this way. Pull the pass into the same position. So this is very much a matter of how you ended up. Not necessarily need to fight from one to the other. Just take it what you've got. If you're being trapped, leg is a little bit further, you'll be trying to reach and drive through. If you're in a good position, you're sitting down. So ideally, provide the arm drive or slide back. Yeah, same thing with the slide back. Oh, I got here. Arm is here. And reach from inside. I pull, I can even connect both hands. Pull, it's like chopping a tree. And pass. Or sitting backwards. So I can slide back up. I got here. I grab the leg straight away. Here. Bringing in, imagine you want to close the elbow, sitting. So the legs go forward. It's like literally you're sitting on a loop. I'm sorry for the language, but up here. Back straight and turn. Any question to this? So, yes?
So when you try to lean back, you try to look up the side to help you to put the weight.
Yes, but you want to be in this position. Good question. So I'm here. I want to do this. You see how my knee, because opponent's leg is in between. So I do this like a scissor effect. Legs go and hips back leaning with the arm. In the other case, if I'm a little bit here, down, or even, sometimes even your knee drops. And I'm here. My knee drop, quickly here, inside, pull, and drive to pass. Anyone else? Any question? Perfect. Go again. Arm drag or slide back. Get in back. Don't rush. You can stay and feel which one of the options would be more suitable according to the position. Or ask your training partner to maybe move the leg, move closer to the leg, depending which one you want to try. Ideally, both. And again, both sides, please. Shall we? 3, 2, 1. So we cover most of the stuff from being in a contact. Now, situation when I have someone who does not really want to be in a contact, and usually what they do, they nicely push or just block with the arm, extended arm. Now, one of the really good ways of getting close or attacking the back take, and you can actually see the Izaak doing very often, is from the underhook. It's like sort of throw by, reaching for the waist, take it back. It's easy to stick the underhook when someone's standing here, I have it. However, when someone's posting, it's like I'm backing off a little bit. It's just like, I can't, I can keep on fishing, but it will be a little bit complicated. So from here, we can use nice simple trick when you literally punch the arm, punch in the underhook. So watch again, footwork is very important. Whole your body has to work, You cannot expect just the upper body go and my leg staying behind. So again, he's posting, I push. It's like a punch. So I push and I step forward with the underhook. Punch in. You've seen my leg move from here to here. I must be closer if I want to go for the back. Most likely he will be posting overhook, but that's fine. From here, I carry on forward, lifting the arm, carrying for the waist, and I have a back. Now, the tricky part could be if you're shorter than your opponent. If you're a little bit shorter, can be a little bit harder, but what you already have to do is lift more, which means you have to be even closer. So if I will be shorter and I punch, get in, then I have to get closer, like with a step in we did before, to elevate his shoulder. And punch, in, reaching like when you're throwing cricket ball, and take the back. If you're taller, will be slightly easier. Same size, same thing. So again, posting arm, I'm punching and stepping in. Punch in. Again, punch in, coming in, lifting. Arm coming on the waist. And as you notice, I didn't do it just on a step in. I was driving through. So you notice most of the techniques require to go. This is one part from the wrestling which is actually important to keep it and memorize and do it. So punch in. I got another hook. I'm following in still. I'm going, lifting and reaching for the waist. What can happen is that your arm ahead gets stuck. Once I get this, and leap, get my head through. I'm here. From here, you don't need to fight. Just a little bit squat. Once I'm here, little squat tucked out, get it back. We might get a cauliflower ear, but that's fine. It's something you better expect. Up, in, clear up. So you see when you use the kind of cricket throw all the way, you clear up the space of the underhook if they put a visa or overhook. Go, hop, and back. And we have a nice slip back. Any question? Pardon? Do you have a punch for Kolta? Oh, yeah. You can literally from Hitsu. But also from Kolotai, it's easy because I can just get into the under, for example. But you can also punch. Yeah. Hold, hop, in, right, clear up, and reach for the waist. Any question? Shall we? Perfect. 3, 2, 1.
So what is your take with the underhook like this or the
To
high
all
elbow?
underhook.
Because a lot sometimes I feel that like if the guy's expecting me to go here, you can get the wizard.
Overhook. That's why the step.
Mm.
So if you don't engage in your box, so this is the thing. Punch in. So now I'm quite secure by the stepping closer. Even when you put the visa now, you put the visa, it's still fine. I'm here. So I can actually come in. Okay. So now you can see, guys, why is it important to step in? Yeah, if I just do this, do the visa, now my shoulder not very good for me. But coming in, get a visa. Even if it's got a visa, this position, now I can even lean in. Do you see how I'm coming extend? This is also advantage of being a little bit taller. Yeah. Even if we are same size, that's still fine. If I keep on coming closer, obviously my arm has to be ready for him if he wants to do something blocking. Now I'm fine, so I can still do it from this. It's just the step. If you don't punch and step in, then happen when they put a visa or overhook, then comes the thing again, the shock. Now, guys, we are heading to the end of the practicing technique on everything. If we get to the Q&As, we a little bit extended longer. So you can ask any questions related to what we did today. Anything else was bothering you or you have an interest of training plans or anything, just keep on asking questions. We go for until they have a question. And then if you don't need to go, we can do a bit roll as well around. And I'm more than happy to join and roll, stand up, obviously. We can do the ground game. Don't be careful. Don't underestimate me. I know I wear the wrestling shoes, but it's only for my safety on my ankles. But yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask anything.
Yes. So on your normal trainings, how much is drill? How much is like warm up? How much is like,
So, also, better question is how often you train a week?
I hope it's at least 5.
Yeah. So, if you're talking about 5 sessions a week, you wanna go in a way, but you wanna cover a little bit of everything. Also, it's important where in a year of preparation we are. So, there will be a little bit longer answer, but I try to be as direct as possible and be clear. So, you wanna notify most important events you have in a year. Yeah. Most important, I mean, not saying that the grappling industry is not important. If this is your aim, then yes, you have 3, 4 grappling industries. You're focusing on that. You look when they are in a year. As close to you getting to the competition, lower and a lower intensity of the sessions. That's where you're focusing more on a drilling, and the way you drill, especially wrestling, jiu-jitsu is slightly different because you don't necessarily have to do explosive drills. When it comes to the wrestling, when we talk, you want to drill a little bit more than you grapple and wrestle. And when you grapple or wrestle, you want to go 50-60% intensity. You want to flow. You want to sweat nicely. We're talking week 2 before, easy sessions. Yeah. Anything before, you're starting heavy. So let's say 5 times a week. Warm up, definitely every single time you try is important, especially when it comes to the gymnastics. Because people misunderstand our warm-ups are very similar, jiu-jitsu and wrestling. There are slightly differences according to the sport. We don't do hip escaping, yeah. Then we do something else, but you don't need to do. So warm up every single session, because the stuff you do of these drills and gymnastic variations, you're preparing your body for the sport, not just for the session.